Hello friends. Let us now learn about this question from AIMS previous year questions. First, which of the following is normally seen in lumbar spine? So if you see in the lumbar spine, which of the following is normally seen? Okay, normally if you see, okay, I'll draw it. Normally, if you see, first there will be forward curve in the cervical spine like this, and then there will be thorax, and then in the lumbar spine again there will be forward curve, again it will be like this, right? So this is the cervical spine where you see the forward curve, and again you will see a forward curve in the lumbar spine. So in both cervical spine and lumbar spine you will see the forward curve. That means this forward curvature is called as lordosis. Anterior curvature is called as lordosis. So normally itself you will see the lordosis, that is lumbar lordosis is seen normally. Lumbar spine, see in Gray's Anatomy it was mentioned that lumbar spine is held in lordosis. The degree of this lordosis is mainly determined by the lumbosacral angle, and this lordosis will be around 30 to 45 degrees. The muscles which are responsible for the posture of this lordosis are also important. The muscles which are responsible for this lordosis include the following. They are erector spinae, rectus abdominis, internal oblique and external oblique, psoas major, iliacus and gluteus, and hamstring muscles. So these are the muscles which are responsible for this lordosis, that is lumbar lordosis, which is seen. This lordosis can be increased whenever there is weakness of these abdominal muscles. Whenever there is weakness of these abdominal muscles, this lordosis can be increased, right? But normally we will have lumbar lordosis. Then what about the other options? What is scoliosis? Scoliosis is lateral deviation of the spine. So if you see, if the spine is like this, this is a person. If the spine is laterally deviated spine, then that is called as scoliosis. This lateral deviation can occur from unequal growth of vertebral column, or erosion of vertebral bodies, or asymmetrical weakness of the vertebral muscles. Then the lordosis. Lordosis is actually anterior curvature, which you see like this. This is the lordosis. Then one more option which is given is kyphosis. What is this kyphosis? Kyphosis is abnormal increased convexity of thoracic spine. So thoracic spine should be like this, but if there is increased convexity of thoracic spine, then that is kyphosis. That is abnormal increased convexity of thoracic spine. Then if you see, we have recurvatum. What is recurvatum? Genu recurvatum is actually a deformity in the knee joint, so that the knee joint bends backwards. You will see this in the knee. Okay, so this is about this question. So if you see the next question, what is the location of Meissner's corpuscles? Meissner's corpuscles are actually specialized nerve endings. These are actually located in the dermal papillae, close to the dermoepidermal junction. Look, so this is the outer part of the skin, epidermis, okay, and this is the dermal papillae. This is epidermis, this is dermis. These papillae which you can see, these are called as dermal papillae. So Meissner corpuscles are located in this dermal papillae, right? So Meissner corpuscles are located in the papillary dermis. Now, if you have seen the Meissner's corpuscles, there is a highly chance that other organs can also be asked. So Meissner's corpuscles are actually they are dendrites which are encapsulated in connective tissue. How does these Meissner's corpuscles look like? They are actually, this is a dendrite, this is Meissner's corpuscles. Meissner's corpuscles are actually dendrites which are encapsulated in the connective tissue around it, and these will respond for slow vibrations. Okay, so these are located in the papillary dermis. Then we have the Merkel cells. These Merkel cells are actually, they are expanded dendritic endings. They look somewhat like this. They are just expanded dendritic endings. Okay, these also respond to pressure and touch. And these Merkel's discs are present in, Merkel cells are present in stratum basale. Merkel cells are present in stratum basale. Then the next important cells is Ruffini's corpuscles. Okay, these Ruffini corpuscles are enlarged dendritic ends. These Ruffini's corpuscles are enlarged dendritic ends with elongated capsule. These are enlarged dendritic ends. So these are the dendritic ends, and this is the capsule. This is capsule. These all are dendritic ends. So this is Ruffini's corpuscles. These Ruffini's corpuscles are also important for pressure. Then we have the last one, which is Pacinian corpuscle. This Pacinian corpuscle is unmyelinated dendritic endings. So this is an unmyelinated, this is a dendritic ending. Okay, this is a dendrite and it is not myelinated. This is a dendritic ending of a sensory nerve fiber which has 2 micrometers in diameter, and this is actually surrounded by concentric lamina of connective tissue. This is connective tissue and this is dendritic cell. So this is Pacinian corpuscle. So these Pacinian corpuscles are actually located in reticular dermis. They are located in reticular dermis. So these Pacinian corpuscles are also responsible for pressure and vibration. So these are the important receptors, sensory organs and their receptors. Thank you for watching.